The Netherlands, March 24, 2014. 58 world leaders converge at the World Forum in The Hague for the third biannual Nuclear Security Summit. Among them are presidents, prime ministers, and delegates from across the globe, gathered to discuss the safety of nuclear materials and the prevention of nuclear terrorism. But while the summit's purpose was serious and political, what caught the eyes of many observers was not the speeches, nor the security, but a symbol. Suspended above the center of the conference hall was a massive hologram, a glowing pyramid, slowly spinning in mid-air, with three smaller inverted pyramids contained within. The same shape appeared pinned to the lapels of attending delegates. It was the official logo of the summit. At first glance, the design appeared modern, abstract, a visual metaphor for layered security, perhaps, or global cooperation. But outside the forum, whispers began to spread. For some, the holographic pyramid carried an altogether different meaning. Conspiracy theorists immediately recognized a shape they believed to be ancient, powerful, and ominous. The Eye of Providence, more commonly known as the All-Seeing Eye. To them, this was not just an artistic logo, it was a signal. The All-Seeing Eye, often depicted within a triangle or pyramid, has been associated for centuries with the so-called secret society known as the Illuminati, a shadowy organization rumored to manipulate world events, control financial systems, and steer the course of history from behind the scenes. For theorists, the idea that 58 of the world's most powerful leaders had gathered beneath such a symbol was not coincidence. It was confirmation. Confirmation that the Illuminati, or at least the ideology it represents, had permeated the highest levels of international politics. Journalists covering the event dismissed these claims as paranoia, pointing out that the logo had been designed by a Dutch creative firm with no ties to secret societies. Officially, the pyramid motif was meant to represent the complex layers of nuclear security and the summit's pyramid of responsibility, a framework of cooperation between nations. But for those who see symbols as hidden messages, explanations like this only deepen the suspicion. After all, conspiracy theorists argue the Illuminati is said to thrive on symbolism, using signs, logos, and visual cues to mark their influence. From dollar bills to music videos, from corporate logos to architectural landmarks, believers claim that the pyramid and the eye appear too frequently and in too many powerful contexts to be coincidence. The spinning hologram in The Hague was, for them, simply the latest and boldest display. This raises a question that has haunted modern culture for decades. Is the Illuminati real? Or is it a myth fueled by fear, coincidence, and the human tendency to find hidden patterns? To explore this, we must look backward, centuries backward, to the very origins of the secret societies that first carried such symbols. Because, whether in the 18th century halls of Enlightenment Europe or in the temples of the medieval Crusades, the roots of this mysterious icon run deep. And for many, the journey to understand today's Illuminati begins with its earliest incarnation, the founding of the modern order in Germany. In February 1776, the Bavarian Illuminati, May 1, 1776, a group of scholars gather at the University of Ingolstadt in Bavaria. Among them is Adam Weishaupt, a professor of canon law, who shares a dream of creating a society untethered from the dogma of traditional religion and unshackled from the authority of the Catholic Church. Weishaupt envisioned an enlightened order, guided by reason, dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge and individual liberty. He called it the Order of the Illuminati, or, more simply, the Illuminati. Its members, recruits from the ranks of Bavaria's educated elite, were drawn to the group's promise of intellectual freedom and critical thinking, but secrecy was also part of the appeal. In the absolute monarchies of 18th century Europe, any dissenting ideas could bring swift and brutal retribution. So Weishaupt established a strict hierarchy of secrecy within his order, complete with passwords, hand signals, and elaborate rituals. These were not merely for show. They served a vital purpose, allowing the group to operate without drawing the attention of the authorities. As the order grew, so too did its ambitions. In 1785, Weishaupt reorganized the Illuminati and set his sights on nothing less than the transformation of society itself. According to his grand plan, the order would infiltrate and eventually supplant the existing power structures. The clergy, the aristocracy, and even the state itself would be overturned, replaced by a new world order guided by the principles of the Enlightenment. The Bavarian Illuminati reached its peak in the late 1780s, boasting nearly 300 members at its peak. But the good times would not last. By 1787, the group's existence came to the attention of the Bavarian government, which saw the secretive society as a threat to public order. Weishaupt and his top lieutenants were arrested, and the order was officially disbanded. The Bavarian Illuminati may have been short-lived, but its impact would endure. Its core ideas of enlightenment and secularism found expression in the French Revolution and the American Declaration of Independence. And its organizational structure, with its emphasis on secrecy and coded symbolism, became the blueprint for future secret societies. But none would carry forward the Illuminati's legacy quite like the Freemasons. 3. The Freemasons and the All-Seeing Eye. Founded in the mid-1700s, the Freemasons were not the first stonemasons guild in Europe, but they would become the most famous. Like the Bavarian Illuminati before them, the Masons emphasized brotherhood, enlightenment, and charitable works. But they also placed a heavy emphasis on symbolism. One symbol in particular would become synonymous with the Freemasons and later with the Illuminati: the all-seeing eye within a triangle. According to legend, the eye first appeared during the Crusades, when European Christians seized the ancient Egyptian city of Jerusalem in 1099. Inside the conquered city, the Crusaders discovered an obelisk bearing a carving of an eye within a triangle. Believing it to be a pagan idol, they destroyed most of the monolith. But one piece broke off, preserving the image of the eye and its triangle. That carving, or a copy of it, would become the property of the Knights Templar, a holy order founded in 1118 to protect pilgrims on their way to the Holy Land. By the Middle Ages, the eye had taken on a new meaning. It was seen as the all-seeing eye of God, watching over and judging the faithful. This meaning would carry forward to the Freemasons, who adopted the eye as a symbol of their own. As a reminder to always do good, the eye's presence in Masonic art and architecture has led some to accuse the Freemasons of being a secret society themselves. But the truth is much more mundane. The all-seeing eye was simply one of many symbols used by the Freemasons to convey their beliefs and values. Nevertheless, the rumors persist, in part because the Freemasons have long been associated with some of the world's most powerful people. In the United States, 5 presidents are said to have been Freemasons, including George Washington, James Monroe, and William McKinley. Many other world leaders and influential figures also belonged to the order, including the scientist Albert Einstein and the writer Dante Alighieri. Again, this is not evidence of a vast conspiracy, but it has done little to quell the fears of those who believe the Freemasons and the Illuminati are one and the same. 4. The modern all-seeing eye. The persistent rumors about the Illuminati took on a new life in the 20th century. thanks in part to a certain iconic piece of American currency. When the US dollar bill was redesigned in the 1930s, a new symbol was added to its reverse, the all-seeing eye within a triangle, surrounded by the words, "In God We Trust." Immediately, conspiracy theorists saw this as confirmation of the Illuminati's infiltration of American institutions. The implication was clear. The powerful bankers and politicians who controlled the US economy were part of a secret society bent on dominating the world. In reality, the choice of symbolism was simply a reflection of the time. The Great Depression and the rise of fascism in Europe had shaken Americans to their core, leading many to seek comfort in religion and traditional values. The placement of the eye on the dollar bill was meant to convey a sense of divine providence watching over the nation. Nevertheless, the rumor mill continued churning. In the 1970s, a best-selling book reignited interest in the Illuminati, portraying the group as an active and sinister force in world politics. The resurgence of the Illuminati myth coincided with a wave of popular culture fascinated by the occult and the supernatural. Books, movies and TV shows like The Satan Cellar and Rosemary's Baby tapped into a growing sense of unease about the direction of modern society. And in that climate, secret societies like the Illuminati seemed more believable than ever. Today, the belief in the Illuminati continues to thrive online. Websites and YouTube channels are dedicated to exposing the machinations of the so-called New World Order, with many convinced that the Illuminati is alive and well. Whether it's Kanye West wearing an Illuminati t-shirt, or Lady Gaga using the sign in her music video for Born This Way, conspiracy theorists see evidence of the group's influence everywhere. The truth is far more mundane. The Illuminati remains a myth, a story that people tell themselves because it helps make sense of a world that can often feel chaotic and unpredictable. But in the end, it's a myth that feeds on our deepest fears and prejudices, encouraging us to look for enemies where there are none. In the 19th century, the Illuminati take on a life of their own in the writings of one man, British author John Robison. Robison was a professor of natural philosophy and a Scottish Freemason who claimed to have uncovered a vast global conspiracy. In 1797, he published The Masonic, a polemic accusing the Freemasons of corrupting young minds, undermining religion, and conspiring with the Illuminati to seize control of society. According to Robinson, the Illuminati were far from a small German sect. Instead, he painted them as a sinister international cabal, controlling world events from behind the scenes. His book was a sensation, fueling widespread paranoia about secret societies. But was Robinson onto something, or was he just spinning a yarn? Well, both. While he concocted much of the Illuminati mythology, he also stumbled upon real elements of the conspiracy. You see, by the late 18th century, the American and French revolutions had inspired liberal and radical thought across Europe. Intellectuals gathered in secret to discuss new ideas about politics, society, and religion. Groups like the Jacobins in France or the Helvetic Republic propagated revolutionary ideals and plotted against conservative regimes. While not connected to the original Illuminati, groups like these appealed to a similar mindset of Enlightenment thinkers, and some became vehicles for the conspiratorial thinking that would later define the modern Illuminati. But Robinson wasn't the only one weaving tales of the Illuminati in the late 18th century. Across the Channel in France, a writer named Auguste Debord took inspiration from the Bavarian Illuminati and created a fictional version for the stage. In his play, The Conspiracy of the Chest, Borders depicts a secret society bent on destroying the church and the state. This narrative of anti-clerical subversion would become a staple of Illuminati lore. However, Borders didn't stop there. He also introduced a new symbol into the mix, the all-seeing eye at the center of a pyramid. While not explicitly linked to the Illuminati, this image captured the imagination of conspiracy theorists, and would later become synonymous with the group. Back in Germany, the legend of the Illuminati continued to evolve. In 1818, a German writer named August von Kotzebue published a sensationalist novel called The Secret History of the High and Mighty Illuminati. Kotzebue's tale follows a young man initiated into a secret society that corrupts the minds of Europe's elite, while drawing on real elements of the original Illuminati. The novel also introduced supernatural elements and lurid details of sexual immorality. This sensationalism would become a recurring theme in Illuminati literature, and Kotzebue's novel helped fuel a wave of anti-Masonic hysteria across Europe and America. As the 19th century wore on, writers, preachers, and politicians continued to sound the alarm about the Illuminati threat. In America, concerns about secret societies were high. After all, the United States was founded on principles of individual liberty and democracy, ideals antithetical to the notion of shadowy cabals controlling government and society. In 1827, a lawyer and politician named William Morgan began researching the history of Freemasonry in New York. His findings, published posthumously in 1828 as The Freemasons, exposed the secrets of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite, a branch of Freemasonry. While not specifically focused on the Illuminati, the book fueled anti-Masonic sentiment, which led to the formation of the Anti-Masonic Party in the 1820s and 30s. As the century drew to a close, fears of the Illuminati reached a fever pitch. In 1888, a French writer named Leo Taxil published a sensational account of the Illuminati titled The Drama of the Third Rome. Taxil claimed that the original Illuminati survived their 1785 suppression and had infiltrated the Catholic Church, corrupting popes and plotting against the faith. He even accused Pope Leo XIII himself of being an Illuminati agent. While clearly false, such claims reveal the growing association between the Illuminati and the Catholic Church. And Taxil wasn't the only one making such connections. In America, writers like William Yarrow were sounding the alarm about the Illuminati and their infiltration of the clergy. Yet, despite this growing body of literature, hard evidence of the Illuminati remained elusive. Much of what passed as proof consisted of internal documents, letters, rituals, and other writings, either genuinely from the original Illuminati or written by those trying to capitalize on the public's fascination with secret societies. In reality, proving the existence of these organizations was nearly impossible since, well, they were secret. Governments and scholars dismissed most accounts as the ravings of paranoid authors and theorists. Still, such theories captured the public imagination, and in an age before television and the internet, sensationalist books and pamphlets offered a cheap thrill. They were passed around in hushed tones, fueling a sense of mystery and intrigue. As the 20th century dawned, the legacy of the Illuminati seemed secure. Writers like Nestor Webster wove tales of the Illuminati's role in shaping world events, while authors like Manly Hall incorporated Illuminati symbolism into their esoteric works. The Great Depression and the rise of totalitarian regimes like Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union only fueled fears of shadowy cabals manipulating events from the shadows. And so the myth of the Illuminati endured. Did the original Illuminati survive into the 20th century? Most likely not. But the idea of a small, secretive group wielding vast power over society proved too enticing to disappear. It merely evolved, adapting to new times and circumstances. Today, the Illuminati remain a potent symbol of conspiracy and control in the modern era. For some, they represent a genuine threat, a hidden enemy pulling the strings of global politics and finance. For others, they are a convenient explanation for the complexities of modern life. Whatever the truth, the allure of the Illuminati persists, reminding us of the enduring power of secrecy and the human fascination with hidden knowledge. So there you have it, the curious history of the Illuminati from their roots in Enlightenment Germany to their evolution in the modern age. What do you think? Are the Illuminati nothing more than a historical footnote, or do they still hold sway in today's world? Let me know in the comments below. The Knights Templar were a holy order of warriors founded in 1118 to protect pilgrims on their way to the Holy Land. Over the next 2 centuries, they grew into a fearsome fighting force, a Catholic military order that battled not just common enemies, but internal demons. But by the 14th century, the Templars were done fighting. In fact, they were done existing. In 1312, King Philip IV of France, supposedly with the Pope's reluctant approval, dissolved the order. Members were accused of all sorts of unsavory behavior, heresy, homosexuality, and even worse, fiscal irresponsibility. The Templars were officially disbanded and their assets seized by the crown. Or were they? What if some Templars didn't renounce their vows? What if some kept fighting even after their order was no more? Welcome to the first ever video made by a time traveler. Okay, seriously, where were you last Friday? Anyway, let's get started. The image of the Illuminati didn't vanish with the 18th century. Instead, it grew stronger with every generation. By the 20th century, whispers of the Illuminati resurfaced in a world transformed by world wars, global banking, and the rise of mass media. For many, the idea of a secret society pulling strings behind the scenes provided a simple explanation for complex events. When governments clashed, when economies collapsed, when wars seemed orchestrated, conspiracy theorists pointed to the Illuminati. They claimed that presidents, prime ministers, even kings and queens were not the true rulers of nations, but pawns of a hidden elite. Hollywood stars flashing pyramid signs with their hands, CEOs photographed with one eye obscured, politicians wearing pins or jewelry resembling ancient symbols. To believers, these were not coincidences, but coded messages. Proof that the Illuminati were not only real, but flaunting their influence in plain sight. The pyramid, the eye, the glowing triangle, these symbols became the language of conspiracy. They appeared in music videos, fashion, films, and advertisements. Each sighting fueled the suspicion that powerful celebrities and industry moguls were not just entertainers or entrepreneurs, but recruits in a centuries-old network. At the heart of these theories is a chilling claim that the Illuminati are not just powerful, but virtually omnipotent. They control banking systems, directing the flow of global wealth. They dominate the media, shaping what billions of people see and hear each day. They influence elections, wars, and even technological breakthroughs. For conspiracy theorists, the world is not governed by chance or democracy, but by design. A design set in motion by Weishaupt's order in 1776, refined through centuries of secrecy and hidden in plain sight today. Of course, historians argue otherwise. They insist the Illuminati were disbanded within a decade, their influence minimal at best. The modern conspiracy, they say, is just that, a myth amplified by fear and coincidence. But believers counter with a question. If the Illuminati truly disappeared, why do their symbols persist? Why do the world's most powerful figures, presidents, monarchs, billionaires, keep being associated with the pyramid and the eye. Whether real or imagined, the myth of the Illuminati thrives because it speaks to something universal. The suspicion that the world is being guided by forces we cannot see, forces that may have begun in the shadowy halls of 18th century Bavaria, but, according to legend, stretch back much further back to an era when God and Mammon were a lot less separate, back to the dawn of the Knights Templar. Founded in 1118 by devout monks, the order grew from a small band of 8,000 to 9,000 members by the end of the century. Their vow of poverty, chastity, and obedience made them an attractive option for young men seeking purpose and community. But their commitment to the Church also made them ferociously loyal to the papacy. As the Crusades gained momentum, the Templars were thrust into the thick of battle. By the 12th century, they were a well-oiled fighting force, fanatically religious and exceptionally well-trained. But their reputation for piety was soon overshadowed by accusations of misconduct. Rumors spread about Templars abandoning their vows, committing sexual misconduct, and extorting travelers on their way to the Holy Land. These allegations may have been exaggerated or outright false, but they gained traction nonetheless. By the 13th century, the Templars had become a political football. Kings and popes bickered over control of the order, while rival factions within the Church denounced them as heretics. And then there was the money. The Templars amassed considerable wealth from donations and land grants. This made them both a tempting target and a potent force. But as the Crusades faltered in the late 12th century, the Templars' purpose was called into question. Internal strife, financial strain, and bad publicity took their toll. In 1307, King Philip IV of France, who had long been at odds with the Templars, arrested hundreds of the order's members on charges of heresy and immorality. With the Pope's reluctant support, he dissolved the order in 1312. Templars were offered the chance to leave the order without penalty. Others were imprisoned, tortured, and executed. Or were they? What if some Templars didn't renounce their vows? What if some kept fighting, even after their order was no more? Long before the Illuminati were said to exist, another brotherhood of secrecy rose to power. The Knights Templar, formed in 1118 AD. This order of warrior monks began with a sacred mission to protect pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land during the Crusades. They wore white mantles adorned with a red cross, a symbol of purity and sacrifice. But as their influence grew, so too did their reputation for something far more mysterious. The order established their headquarters in Jerusalem on the Temple Mount, the holiest of sites, believed to be the resting place of ancient relics. According to legend, their true purpose wasn't protection at all, but excavation. They were searching for hidden treasures buried beneath the mount, treasures that could change the course of history. And it was in these hidden vaults, some claim, that the Templars uncovered relics of unimaginable power, holy artifacts, sacred writings, even knowledge not meant for mankind. Whispers spread across Europe that the Templars had struck a dark bargain, that their power came not from faith, but from forces beyond this world. By the 12th and 13th centuries, the Knights Templar had risen from obscurity to become the wealthiest and most powerful order of the Crusades. They controlled castles, land, trade routes, and vast sums of money. Their influence rivaled kings and popes alike. And with that power came suspicion. Rumors painted the Templars as heretics, accused of spitting on the cross and worshipping strange idols. Some believed they consorted with demons, spiritual beings they encountered beneath the Temple Mount. Their rituals, held in secrecy, became the fuel for terrifying speculation. In 1307, King Philip IV of France, burdened by debt and eager to seize Templar lands, orchestrated the arrest of Jacques de Mal, the last Grand Master of the Templars, and his brothers, charged with heresy, treason, and even devil worship. De Mal was tortured until he confessed, though many believe his words were forced. In 1314, de Mal was burned at the stake, and the order was officially dissolved by Pope Clement V. Yet, the legend of the Templars did not die in the flames. Instead, it grew stronger. Were they unjustly persecuted knights, or had they truly tapped into hidden, otherworldly knowledge? Some claim the Templars communicated with entities known in Hebrew tradition as Shadim, beings neither fully angel nor human, existing somewhere in between. Were these demons, as their accusers believed, or something far more alien? To believers, the Templars were the first to make contact with non-human intelligences, what modern theorists call extraterrestrials, and the knowledge they carried back from Jerusalem would ripple through history, passed down through secret societies, and perhaps even giving rise to the Illuminati centuries later. But if the Templars were keepers of hidden wisdom, what evidence remains of their contact? For some, the answer lies in a symbol that transcends time. The all-seeing eye, emerging during the reign of the pharaohs. This enigmatic icon has captivated humanity for millennia. Now, nestled within the highest reaches of the Great Pyramid, its meaning remains shrouded in mystery. Was it a celestial guide, a divine protector, or something more sinister? A watchful sentinel guarding secrets best left undisturbed. The truth, like the eye itself, stares back, demanding we confront our deepest fears and contemplate the very essence of our existence. This is Unveiled, and together we are uncovering the truth. Do you think the Knights Templar made a deal with demons? From the deserts of Egypt to the holes of modern power, one symbol keeps reappearing: the all-seeing eye. Sometimes it is depicted alone, a single eye watching intently. Other times it rests within a triangle or pyramid, radiating beams of light. No matter the form, it carries a chilling message. Someone, or something, is always watching. Now, long before the French Revolution gave us the sinister group that is the Illuminati, the eye was a symbol of esoteric wisdom and enlightenment. The ancient Egyptians worshipped the Eye of Horus, a symbol of protection and divine oversight. To them, the eye represented the sun god Ra and his all-seeing gaze. It was believed to ward off evil spirits and bring good fortune. Later, the Greeks picked up the symbol, calling it the Eye of Providence. They associated it with their god, Zeus, and his omniscience. Then, centuries later, the Knights Templar, those fierce fighters for Christendom, began using the image too. But theirs was a darker interpretation. They saw the eye as a representation of God's judgment, always upon them. This fascination with the eye didn't fade with the fall of the Templars. It found purchase in the secretive, mystical traditions of the Rosicrucians, then the Freemasons. These groups wove the eye into their rituals and symbols, a testament to their belief in hidden knowledge and unseen control. But no adoption of the eye was more influential than that of the Bavarian group, the Illuminati. Founded in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt, they used the eye as a symbol of their belief in a grand, universal plan, a blueprint for enlightenment that only they had access to. By the late 18th century, the all-seeing eye was synonymous with the Illuminati, a sign of their supposed omnipresence and power. And when the French Revolution brought the Illuminati to the guillotine, the eye didn't die with them. It found a new home in the heart of American idealism, or perhaps it was always there. The Great Seal of the United States, designed in 1782, features an unfinished pyramid with the Eye of Providence hovering above it, beaming light down onto the world. For many, it is a symbol of God's watchful care over the nation, a promise of His continued blessings. For others, it is the legacy of secretive societies influencing the very soul of the nation. But is it really a legacy? Or is the all-seeing eye something far older, a relic of a time when the very concept of nation was in its infancy? What if the eye isn't just a symbol of hidden knowledge or divine providence? What if it is a memory, a record of a time when the earth was overseen by beings not of this world? Enter ancient astronaut theorists, those who believe that extraterrestrials visited Earth in the distant past. They claim that the eye is not merely a religious symbol, but a coded message from these ancient astronauts, a reminder of their presence and guidance. Proponents of this idea point to the eye's presence in cultures separated by time and geography, suggesting a common source of inspiration. They argue that the Egyptians, Greeks, Templars, and others were not independently led to the same symbol, but were instead influenced by a shared experience, the observation of the heavens and the guidance of non-human intelligence. According to this view, the eye becomes a talisman, a souvenir of a bygone era when Earth was visited by gods. It is a tangible link to a time when the universe was full of wonders and mysteries beyond our understanding. But who are we to question the wisdom of ancient builders and thinkers? After all, they left us not just with great works of architecture and philosophy, but also with cryptic symbols that continue to fascinate and elude us. The all-seeing eye, whether it is a symbol of divine providence, a relic of ancient astronauts, or simply an enduring image of hidden knowledge and unseen control, continues to capture the human imagination. It is a reminder that there are things beyond our understanding, forces that shape our world and our lives in ways we may never fully comprehend. So the next time you see the all-seeing eye, whether on a dollar bill or carved into an ancient temple, take a moment to consider its meaning. What does it say to you about the nature of our universe, the purpose of our lives, and the possibility of a grander plan at play? And remember that in the grand tapestry of human history, we are not just observers, but active participants in a drama that has been unfolding for millennia. Deep in the Ecuadorian rainforests of the Andes lies one of the most mysterious places on Earth, the Cave of Teos. For centuries, the Shuar people guarded its location, fiercely protecting its secrets from outsiders. But in the 20th century, whispers of strange artifacts and a hidden library of metal books began to circulate. Treasures said to contain knowledge from an ancient, advanced civilization. The story gained international attention through Father Carlo Crespi, an Italian missionary beloved by the local tribes. He was gifted strange artifacts, tablets of gold, intricately carved plates, and objects covered with mysterious symbols unlike anything known in the Shuar culture. Where had they come from? Many believed their source was none other than the Cave of Teos. In the 1970s, explorer Stanley Hall launched an ambitious expedition to uncover the truth. Among the team of over 100 people was none other than Neil Armstrong, the first man to walk on the moon. They entered the cave through an army-controlled entrance and discovered vast chambers, some appearing to be artificially cut, as if engineered by hands, or technologies long forgotten. Though the expedition uncovered ancient tombs and relics dating back thousands of years, they found no trace of the rumored metal library. Still, accounts persisted. An Ecuadorian named Petronio Jeremilo claimed he had once entered the cave through a secret underwater tunnel, discovering rooms filled with golden books inscribed with unknown writings. He died before he could prove it, taking the secret with him. Even today, explorers and theorists argue over the true nature of the cave. Was it merely a natural formation used by ancient peoples? Or is it, as some ancient astronaut theorists suggest, a vault of knowledge deliberately hidden by extraterrestrial visitors, awaiting rediscovery? Beneath the jungle canopy of Ecuador may lie answers not only to human history, but to humanity's connection with the stars. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this channel, where we share with you the mysteries of our universe that have yet to be solved. From galaxies far, far away to the deepest trenches of our oceans, we'll take you on a journey through the unknown, exploring the unanswered questions that keep us gazing at the stars. Today, we are focusing on one such mystery that has intrigued many: the Cave of Teos. This hidden cavern, nestled deep within the Ecuadorian rainforest, is shrouded in enigma. Legends speak of a place where ancient wisdom is preserved in golden books, hinting at a past more advanced than we may imagine. Is there truth to these tales? What secrets does the cave hold? And why do some believe it's a site of extraterrestrial significance? As we delve into the heart of the Amazon, we'll separate fact from fiction, seeking to understand the allure of this enigmatic cave. Join us as we uncover the mysteries that lie within. Deep within the Ecuadorian Amazon, nestled amidst the ancient trees and shrouded in mist, is the Cave of Teos. This place holds a special significance in local lore, often associated with enigmatic occurrences and whispers of a lost civilization. The very air around here seems thick with secrets waiting to be unveiled. The allure of the cave intensified when Father Carlo Crespi, an Italian missionary, began sharing stories of peculiar artifacts he'd encountered. These included golden tablets, intricately carved plates, and enigmatic objects adorned with cryptic symbols. All of these seemed alien to the Shuar people's known cultural history, leading many to believe that they originated from the very depths of the Cave of Teos. In the 1970s, the world's attention was drawn to the cave by explorer Stanley Hall. Hall assembled an expedition that included a surprising member, Neil Armstrong, the famed astronaut who had walked on the moon. They ventured into the cave through a specially created entrance under military guard. What they found inside was astonishing. The cave revealed vast chambers with some sections seemingly shaped by intelligent design rather than natural forces, while the expedition unearthed ancient tombs and artifacts that hinted at a rich pre-Columbian history. There was no sign of the metallic library, yet the tales surrounding it refused to fade. One man, Petronio Jaramillo, claimed to have discovered a hidden entrance to the cave that led to a subterranean realm. Here he found rooms adorned with golden books inscribed with undeciphered writings. Sadly, he perished before he could reveal the location of this underground access, taking his secret to his grave. Even today, the cave remains a subject of intense fascination and debate. Some view it as a testament to the ingenuity of ancient civilizations, suggesting that the carvings indicate a sophisticated understanding of engineering and metallurgy. Others believe it was a repository of knowledge left behind by extraterrestrial visitors. Is the Cave of Teos a natural wonder with cultural significance? Or is it a celestial archive holding the keys to our universe's deepest mysteries? As we continue to explore this enigmatic cave, one thing becomes clear. The boundaries between myth and reality are often blurred when we venture into the unknown. The Cave of Teos beckons us to explore its depths and unravel its secrets, reminding us that our understanding of history and our place in the cosmos is far from complete. What do you think of this mysterious cave? Is it a place of extraterrestrial knowledge or a testament to ancient civilizations? Share your thoughts in the comments below. On the Giza Plateau in Egypt stands perhaps the most enigmatic structure ever built. The Great Pyramid, the only surviving wonder of the ancient world. It continues to baffle researchers with its precision and purpose. It is well known that the Great Pyramid is aligned to within a fraction of a degree of true north. Its orientation is more accurate than any modern building. Even more astonishing, calculations suggest that when it was first constructed, due to the Earth's shifting axis, it may have been perfectly aligned. Was this just coincidence, or evidence of advanced knowledge far beyond its time? The truth is, the pyramid's secrets go far deeper than that. The pyramid's very dimensions encode secrets of the planet itself. Its base perimeter corresponds to the circumference of the Earth. Its height relates directly to the distance from the equator to the poles. And when measured in ancient cubits, its sides correspond exactly to the length of a solar year, 365.24 days. Down to the quarter day we account for with leap years. How could ancient builders have known such things? Some argue it proves divine inspiration, but others suggest a far more radical idea, that the Great Pyramid was a calling card left by an advanced intelligence, perhaps even extraterrestrials. And the mystery deepens when we compare the Great Pyramid with pyramids across the world. In Mesopotamia, Mesoamerica, and beyond, each is aligned to the stars and built with mathematical precision, hinting at a shared knowledge or shared teachers. But if the Great Pyramid was built by an advanced civilization, why have we found no evidence of one? Where are the tools, the workshops, the cities? It seems we may have unwittingly destroyed these in our quest to uncover their secrets. For centuries, researchers were convinced the Egyptians built the Great Pyramid as a tomb for the pharaoh Khufu. But recent investigations have challenged this view. There's little evidence of burial chambers or treasures within. Instead, many believe it was a place of worship, a monument to the heavens. But who built it and why? The answer may lie in a controversial new theory, that they weren't actually the first. The true architects may have been visitors from a distant past. A highly advanced civilization capable of understanding the Earth and its place in the cosmos. They would have known the Earth's circumference and its distance from the Sun. They would have understood the concept of a solar year and encoded this knowledge in the pyramid's very structure for us to discover. If true, it would explain why the Great Pyramid is so precise, so perfect. But how did our ancestors know all this? The answer, quite simply, they didn't. For thousands of years, people have looked up to the sky and wondered about the world around them. They developed calendars to track the seasons, to help them plant and harvest crops. They built monuments to align with the stars, to tell time and predict the future. They sought to understand the Earth and its place in the universe. Could it be that long before recorded history, a sophisticated culture thrived on our planet? Did they leave behind evidence of their advanced knowledge, only to have it lost to the sands of time? Or are we truly alone in the universe, forever separated by the vast distances of space and time? One thing is certain. The Great Pyramid continues to baffle researchers with its precision and purpose. As we continue to explore its secrets, we may just be beginning to understand the true extent of our universe. There are some intriguing parallels with another megalithic site located in the deserts of northern Chile. The Great Lines are a series of geoglyphs that stretch over 11 kilometers across the arid landscape, created by carefully arranging stones into long, straight lines. These formations are thought to have been used for astronomical observations and religious ceremonies. Interestingly, the lines are not parallel, nor do they intersect at right angles. Instead, they form a series of acute angles with one another, much like the sides of a triangle. Some researchers have suggested that these angles may have been deliberately set to correspond with the directions of certain stars or constellations. While the exact purpose of the Great Lines remains unknown, their creators clearly had a deep understanding of astronomy and mathematics. In fact, the geometric precision displayed in these structures is comparable to that of the Egyptian pyramids. This suggests that these ancient cultures may have possessed more advanced knowledge than previously believed. Could it be that both the Great Pyramid and the Great Lines were created by the same advanced civilization? Did they travel from Egypt to Chile and other locations around the world, leaving behind evidence of their advanced knowledge? While these questions remain unanswered, one thing is clear. The ancient world was a place of mystery and wonder, and we are only just beginning to uncover its secrets. It's about 40 miles east of Shan, in China's Shanxi province. It was 1974, and some farmers were digging a well when they came across something very unusual. Something that would stun the world. A life-sized clay soldier, superbly crafted, complete with a spear and a general's hat. The farmers digging had unearthed an ancient tomb, and with it, a spectacular army. Over the next few decades, excavations revealed thousands of these figures, now known as the Terracotta Army. All created to guard the tomb of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, who died in 206 BCE. There are over 8,000 soldiers here, each one unique. They come with 520 horses and 130 chariots. And the detail is truly remarkable. We can see the texture of their clothes, the muscles in their arms and legs. Their faces are lifelike, their expressions different. Some are serene, others angry, some thoughtful, some shouting commands. These aren't just lifeless statues. They're an army ready for battle. It took 30 years to build this subterranean force, employing more than 700,000 laborers. Each soldier is between 5 feet, 6 inches, and 6 feet, 2 inches tall. They range from generals to common foot soldiers. There are archers, there are cavalrymen, there are even acrobats whose contorted poses show the incredible flexibility of the human body. These warriors weren't just meant to protect the emperor in the afterlife. They were designed to reflect the power and glory of his rule here on earth. But who was Qin Shi Huang, and why did he need such an army? Well, he was many things. He was the unifier of China, the builder of the Great Wall, the standardizer of currency, language, and law. But, above all, he was obsessed with immortality, so much so that legends speak of his search for magical islands where the secret of eternal life might be found. When that failed, he turned to his next best option, building his own tomb to replicate the cosmos itself. A miniature universe sealed beneath the earth. At the heart of this mausoleum, archaeologists believe lies the emperor's burial chamber. It's described in ancient texts as containing rivers of mercury flowing like the waterways of China and a ceiling painted to mimic the night sky with stars of pearl. The rivers of mercury are said to have been there to protect him in the afterlife. The problem is, no one has ever excavated the center of the tomb, because tests reveal dangerously high levels of mercury in the soil, making those legends eerily plausible. So why mercury? Well, to the ancients, it was not just a metal, but a substance of alchemy and transformation. Perhaps even tied to otherworldly knowledge. Some theorists even believe it could hint at lost high technology, remnants of knowledge given by mysterious visitors from beyond. Did Qin Shi Huang stumble upon something truly otherworldly? Did he use it to safeguard his journey into the next life? Or was he merely chasing an eternal life that simply wasn't meant to be? His tomb still guards its secrets, a mystery untouched for over 2,000 years. It's a testament to the ingenuity and artistic brilliance of China's ancient past, and a reminder of the lengths to which one man will go in his quest for immortality. The Great Pyramid encodes the speed of light. Mesopotamian ziggurats align with the heavens. Chinese tombs hold rivers of mercury. How did civilizations thousands of years ago achieve such feats? For mainstream scholars, the answer is clear, but ancient astronaut theorists argue that humanity was not working alone. They argue that advanced beings interpreted as gods, angels or demons, may have shared secrets of mathematics, astronomy and engineering with early humans. These teachings were then preserved in stone monuments, myths and symbols. Take the precision of megalithic structures. At Machu Picchu, for example, how did builders move and place massive stones that modern cranes would struggle to lift, let alone set in precise alignments that remain accurate thousands of years later? Or consider the uncanny astronomical alignments of sites like Stonehenge, Karnak, and the pyramids of Giza, which track solstices, equinoxes, and even the precession cycles of the Earth's axis. A phenomenon not fully understood until modern times. To achieve this knowledge independently would have required centuries of dedicated observation and calculation. Something seemingly beyond the scope of any pre-scientific society. But what if the builders had help? Ancient astronaut theorists point to numerous accounts in ancient texts of sky beings who descended from the heavens and shared their knowledge of agriculture, architecture, and the stars. Were these myths based on real events? Could these accounts describe a time when humanity's understanding of the cosmos was greatly expanded by outside influence? The mystery deepens when we examine artifacts like those found in Father Crespi's collection in Ecuador. The metal plates engraved with an unknown writing system and depictions of strange creatures and deities hint at a sophisticated culture and knowledge of the cosmos that predates the Inca by centuries. Were these relics of a forgotten civilization? Or do they point to contact with something beyond this earth? If these clues are connected, they suggest that once humanity possessed or was given knowledge that far exceeded its time. Knowledge that may have been lost, suppressed, or hidden away, waiting to be rediscovered. But perhaps the most compelling evidence lies in the enduring symbols that have survived across millennia. The all-seeing eye, the sign of hidden wisdom and watchful power, appears again and again, from ancient Egypt to the Americas, from medieval orders to modern summits. Who or what is truly behind it? For some, the answer lies in the heavens. Ancient astronaut theorists believe that these celestial beings, who visited Earth in ancient times, left their mark not only in our DNA, but also in our collective consciousness. The all-seeing eye, they argue, is a symbol of this divine or technological assistance. A reminder of a time when humanity's understanding of the cosmos was greatly expanded by outside influence. Proponents point to similarities between ancient myths and texts from disparate cultures that describe these sky beings and their interactions with early humans. Could these stories be echoes of a shared past? A memory of a time when the boundaries between earth and sky were blurred and the secrets of the universe were freely shared. But others see a darker truth behind the all-seeing eye. Some theorists believe that the symbol represents a sinister force, a malevolent intelligence that has manipulated and controlled humanity since the dawn of time. They point to ancient texts that describe terrifying sky beings who brought both knowledge and destruction, who offered their guidance only to corrupt and enslave those who accepted it. In this view, the all-seeing eye is a symbol of this dark legacy, a reminder of a time when humanity's fate was decided by forces beyond its control. So who or what is watching? Are we being monitored by benevolent celestial beings or malevolent extraterrestrial powers? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. Maybe the all-seeing eye is not a symbol of divine influence or sinister control, but of human potential. After all, many of the world's ancient mysteries seem to hint at a time when humanity possessed advanced knowledge and abilities that were later lost or forgotten. Could the all-seeing eye be a reminder of this lost potential, a symbol of the heights that humanity could reach? If it could unlock the secrets of the cosmos and its own true nature. The all-seeing eye, sometimes inside a pyramid, sometimes alone, emerges again and again throughout human history. To the Egyptians, it was the Eye of Horus, a divine symbol of protection and higher vision. To medieval orders like the Knights Templar, it carried esoteric meaning tied to hidden knowledge. Later, Freemasons and the Rosicrucians adopted it as a sign of enlightenment and spiritual oversight. But this emblem also appears in places and times far removed from these societies. From ancient Mesopotamia to colonial New England, the eye peeps out from unexpected corners of the past. So what could this ubiquitous image possibly mean? Is there a deeper message encoded within its gaze that has endured across millennia? Or are we reading too much into a symbol that appears simply by chance in different cultures? In this video, we'll explore 10 incredible examples of the all-seeing eye across civilizations. Join us as we uncover the possible meanings behind this enduring image and consider what it might have to say about our place in the universe. Number 1. The Eye of Providence. Perhaps one of the most famous examples of the all-seeing eye is found in the Great Seal of the United States. Here it is depicted floating above a partially finished pyramid with the Latin phrase "Annuit coeptis," which translates to "He favors our undertakings." For many, this is a clear reference to divine providence, the idea that a higher power is watching over and blessing the new nation. However, others see it as a symbol of secret societies like the Freemasons, who were influential in the founding of the country. 2. Egyptian origins. One of the earliest known examples of the all-seeing eye symbol can be found in ancient Egypt. The Eye of Horus, as it was called, was associated with the god Horus, and was believed to represent his protection and guidance. This eye shape is thought to date back as far as 4000 BCE, and appears in various forms throughout Egyptian art and architecture. Its exact meaning and significance are still debated by scholars, but it was likely a powerful symbol of hope and resilience in a world full of dangers. 3. The Freemasons. The all-seeing eye is a prominent symbol in Freemasonry, an international fraternal organization whose origins can be traced back to the stonemasons' guilds of medieval Europe. For Masons, the eye represents the all-seeing, all-knowing nature of the grand architect of the universe, a term used to refer to the highest power or deity. It is also seen as a reminder of the importance of living a moral and ethical life, as members are said to be under constant divine observation. 4. The Rosicrucians. Another group that adopted the all-seeing eye as a symbol was the Rosicrucians, a mystical order founded in 17th century Germany. For the Rosicrucians, the eye represented the idea of spiritual enlightenment and the ability to see beyond the physical world. Members often wore jewelry or carried objects bearing the symbol as a reminder to seek wisdom and understanding in all things. 5. The Templars. The Knights Templar were a holy order of warriors founded in the 12th century to protect pilgrims on their way to the Holy Land. Over time, they took on a more sinister reputation, becoming known for their brutality and association with the occult. Some believe that the all-seeing eye symbolized hidden knowledge or the third eye, a concept found in various esoteric traditions, including Buddhism and Hinduism. 6. Native American cultures. The all-seeing eye appears in various forms in several Native American cultures, often as a representation of the sun or moon. In some tribes, it is associated with deities or ancestral spirits, who are believed to be watching over their people. For example, the Hopi tribe has a legend that the world was created by a being with a single eye who emerged from a black hole. 7. Asian art. The concept of the all-seeing eye can also be found in Asian art and culture, where it is often depicted as a symbol of enlightenment and spiritual awakening. For example, the third eye is an important symbol in Hinduism and Buddhism, representing the ability to see beyond the physical world. 8. Colonial America. The all-seeing eye was a common symbol in colonial America, appearing in everything from household items to currency. It was often used to represent the wealth and prosperity that Americans believed would come from their new nation. During the Revolutionary War, the Continental Congress even adopted the eye as a symbol of liberty, placing it on coins and seals to represent the nation's struggle for independence. 9. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. This was a magical society founded in England in the late 19th century that had a significant impact on the development of modern esoteric thought. For the Hermeticists, the all-seeing eye symbolized the pursuit of wisdom and the search for hidden knowledge. Members often studied ancient texts and engaged in rituals and ceremonies designed to unlock the secrets of the universe. 10. Modern interpretations. Today, the all-seeing eye continues to appear in various forms in modern art, literature, and popular culture. It is often used to represent themes of surveillance, control, and the nature of reality. For example, the eye has been used as a motif in works by artists such as Salvador Dali and filmmaker Alfred Hitchcock. From ancient Egypt to the founding fathers of the United States, the all-seeing eye has captured the human imagination for thousands of years. From the secretive gatherings of medieval knights to the cryptic logos of modern world summits, the same symbols continue to appear. The pyramid, the all-seeing eye, and whispers of hidden power. Whether in the vaults of the Knights Templar, the teachings of the Illuminati, or on the Great Seal of the United States, these emblems transcend cultures and centuries. Skeptics dismiss them as coincidence or symbolic art. Believers insist they reveal the fingerprints of secret societies, or even otherworldly beings quietly steering humanity's course. But what cannot be denied is their persistence. Across continents, across religions, and across time itself, the same message echoes. Humanity is not alone in shaping its destiny. Are these signs proof of a universal truth? A warning from ancient civilizations, or simply the human desire to connect with the divine? Perhaps the true answer lies not in the symbols themselves, but in how we choose to interpret them. Because as long as pyramids rise, as long as eyes watch, and as long as mysteries endure, so too will the questions. And the greatest secret of all may be that the story is still unfolding. The narrative thus far has been one of intrigue, of secret societies and hidden truths. But now we come to a pivotal moment, a juncture where the path forward is shrouded in mystery. What direction will you take? Will you cling to reason and logic, dismissing the symbols as mere coincidence, or delve deeper into the rabbit hole of conspiracy and hidden knowledge? The choice, dear viewer, is yours. But before you decide, consider this. Throughout history, there have been countless secret societies, each believing they possess the key to some greater truth. The Illuminati, the Freemasons, the Priory of Sahon, their ranks swelled with influential figures, shaping events from the shadows. But what if the truth lies not in their teachings, but in their symbols? What if the very emblems that adorn their altars and monuments hold the secrets of existence itself? The pyramid, for instance, a structure found across cultures and eras, a symbol of power and enlightenment. Is it merely an architectural marvel or a beacon pointing to the heavens? The all-seeing eye, a motif found in ancient Egypt and modern America, a reminder of divine scrutiny or a window into hidden realities. And then there are the less tangible signs, the whispers in the ruins, the codes embedded in historical documents. Are they breadcrumbs left by our ancestors or messages from a higher intelligence? For some, these symbols speak of a universal truth, a grand design that links humanity and the cosmos. For others, they are warnings, tales of ancient civilizations who stumbled upon forbidden knowledge and paid the price. Skeptics might argue that these interpretations are nothing more than wishful thinking, that any perceived patterns are mere coincidences. But is it so improbable to believe that in a vast universe governed by order and balance, we are truly on our own? These symbols, whether real or imagined, serve as potent reminders of our place in the grand tapestry of existence. They challenge us to look beyond the mundane, to question the narratives we've been presented with, and to ponder the deeper mysteries of life. As we conclude this exploration, remember that the journey is as important as the destination. The pursuit of knowledge, the questioning of norms, and the courage to challenge conventional wisdom are all part of the human experience. So keep an eye on the pyramids. Listen closely to the whispers in the ruins and ponder the messages encoded in the symbols around you. You never know what secrets they might reveal about the nature of reality, the purpose of our existence, or the hidden forces that shape our world. And with that, we come to the end of our 11-part series, The Eye, the Pyramid, and the Secret History of the World. We've delved into the depths of ancient mysteries, explored the hidden symbolism that adorns our monuments, and uncovered the intriguing narratives that have captivated humanity for centuries. If you've journeyed with us thus far, we extend our deepest gratitude. Your engagement, your insights, and your passion for unraveling the mysteries of our world have inspired us to push further, to question more, and to seek out the hidden patterns that connect us to our past, our present, and our future. As we take a moment to reflect on this incredible journey, we invite you to share your thoughts, theories, and experiences in the comments below. What revelations have you discovered? Which symbols have resonated with you the most? And what mysteries do you hope we'll explore in future installments?